Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round four, the final round of our league challenge that happened at Die Hard Games on April 24th, 2025. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. Destined Rival pre-releases start Saturday, May 17th at 1 p.m. League Challenge, May 29th at 6 p.m., and League Cup, May 31st at 12 p.m. All Central Time, all at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as league challenges, league cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. On the left, Dragapult. On the right, Festival lead, Budu versus Goldeen currently. And there is an insta read from the Dragapult player on that Goldeen as they try to best to think how to navigate through this matchup. And they're starting first over on the left. They got the starter they want in the active. They just kind of prefer to go second so they can attack. Either way, attach a Bravery Charm to that Budu, giving it plus 50 HP, 80 HP that baby Pokemon has now. Dreepy hits the bench, followed by a Buddy Buddy Poffin to search the deck for up to two basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less. It'll most likely be the two more Dreepy that will get added, but our player is taking some time here to look through their deck and try to determine what's prized so they can better formulate game plans knowing what they have access to. We'll move forward a little bit here, save some prize checking as they play a energy search item card that allows them to search their deck for an energy, basic energy, and put it into their hand. Double Dreepy on the bench, thanks to the Buddy Buddy Poffin, followed by the Energy Search, means you're attaching to a dragon on turn one, and that's exactly what Dragapult needs to do. As we see the fire get attached to left Dreepy. Anything else? Oh, just a pass. To our festival leader on the right, Goldeen in the active spot. They've got Arvin in hand, so there's the combo of finding the tool card and the item card, Precious Trolley, and Technical Machine Evolution. That pink A-Spec card, item card, Precious Trolley is being played now to fill up the bench with as many basics as you want from the deck. So now you get everybody out, everyone that you think you need in this matchup. Another Goldeen for sure, a couple of Grookey, so two more Goldeen actually. So you guarantee one of your attackers survives for the next turn. Double Grookey and a Fuecoco. Yeah, you'd probably need the Skeletor GX and Incendiary Song in this matchup. As our festival leader on the right is taking some time to look through their deck and seeing what may be prized during their first deck searches as well. I guess you want a TM Evolution if you can here. You have the tool, now you just need it, and there's the energy in hand. So we're going to see the Technical Machine Evolution get attached to the active. That gives it access to the Evolution attack for one energy. You can evolve two of your Pokemon on the bench by searching your deck for the Pokemon that it evolves to and putting it on top. So I think we're prioritizing the double Thwacky here. Yep. So that way we could search better for what we need next turn and pass over to our Dragapult player on the left with the Budu in the active. We may not see an attack this turn, but if we get the rare Candy Dragapult correct energy, we can start swinging and yeah, causing chaos on the opponent's board. So we're seeing an Ultra Ball, discard a couple items, Counter Catcher, and Luxurious Cape. I love gold to find a evolution Pokemon this time in that Dracloak, and it'll evolve on the bench to try to get the reconnaissance going here. One card in hand. It'd be perfect if it was a professor's research, huh? Question is, if it is, are the players going to fist bump or high five? I didn't catch it there. So Recon Directive, look at the top two cards of the deck. keep one of them, put another at the bottom. Another Dracloak was found. The Dracloak train is online. A second recon directive is used, looking at the top two, keeping one, putting the other at the bottom of the deck. Oh, the professor's research was found. Oh, and it's going to be a perfect research after this Buddy Buddy Poffin is played. Search the deck for the last Dreepy, most likely, if it's in there. Yep, it was the reverse hollow one, of course, finally joins the party on the bench here right before a professor, perfect professor's research. Uh, doesn't really get much better than this. Professor's research, discard the hand to draw 7 fresh new cards. You're looking for another energy to attach this turn, probably to the other Dracloak that doesn't have energy to spread your resources since we're not swinging with Dragapult EX this turn. So there we go, Psychic to the other Dracloak. An item lock, right? You do have a lot of HP now, thanks to the Bravery Charm as Budu, so you force your opponent to get the combo and get the stadium down. Under item lock, double Swacky's in play, so there is search, but got to make it as difficult for your opponent as you can. So Budu uses Itchy Pollen for free. It can do that for 10 damage, and the opponent cannot play item cards on their next turn. No item cards from the hand for our opponent as they top deck and try to decide what are the best 2 cards to grab off of the Boom Boom Groove here. It'd be nice to hear what our players are saying. Looks like they're discussing some crucial info here as our festival leader thinks deep about their next move. What's in their deck? What can they do? What can they grab? What would be best to do and best to grab as they fire off this first Boom Boom Groove here. I just got done talking about that in another video, but we can recap what combo is happening right now. So the Thwacky on the bench has the Boom Boom Groove ability. Once during your turn, if your active Pokemon has the Festival Lead ability, you may search your deck for a card and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. So the Goldeen does have the Festival Lead ability, so the Boom Boom Groove is live. Search the deck for any card they think is best for this situation. Uh, Seeking and Festival Grounds, I guess, are needed as we see the other Boom Boom Groove be used to cherry pick another card out of the deck to add to the hand. Of course, the Goldeen evolves into Seeking that also has the Festival Lead ability. That ability says if Festival Grounds in play, this Pokemon can use an attack it has twice. That's why we want to find the Festival Grounds as well. And there it is. That gets put into play. That also prevents special conditions with um, when a Pokemon has energy attached or something like that. But it's primarily in here for that, or to turn on the Festival Lead ability, which we see Seeking evolve in the active spot. Debating on playing this next card in hand of a boss's orders, and they decide yes to bring up a Dracloak with an energy on the bench to the active spot. A pretty meaningful KO here as we see the Seeking use its attack Rapid Draw for colorless energy, 60 damage, and then draw 2 cards. And we could do that twice, remember, so effectively 120 does KO the Dracloak, and 4 cards can be drawn, removing an energy from the opponent's side of the field. Always a good strategy, usually always a good strategy in the Pokemon trading card game. As we're seeing the resolution of this rapid draw here, Budu moves into the active spot on the left and play resumes there. Can we start swinging with the Dragapult now? As they get a Pheasantipity EX down on the bench and then evolve into a Dracloak. The one on the far left can evolve as it receives a Luminous Energy now. That's a special energy that acts like an energy of any type as long as it's the only special energy attached. So that is happening right now. So it will fulfill the psychic cost in the Dragapult EX attack, but we got to get there. First, flip the script on that Pheasantipity EX, draw 3 cards since the opponent took a KO on their last turn. Fill up the hand with resources and options before having to decide off a recon directives or playing other cards from your hand, I suppose. as our player eyes it up and tries to decide the next best move here in this round 4 of the challenge. So it is a recon directive on the Dracloak on the bench, looking at the top 2 cards of the deck, keeping one, putting the other at the bottom. Times 2 here with 2 more cards seen from the top. One selected, the other hits the bottom of the deck, and the third Dracloak is found. Third recon directive used to get more resources and try to gain control of this game with 1 card hitting the bottom, the other card hitting the hand. I think I seen an Ultra Ball in hand earlier too, so the Dragapult is guaranteed. Phantom Dive is gonna happen this turn. It'd just be nice to naturally draw the Dragapult and not have to get rid of resources with Ultra Ball to find it, but before all that, an Artisan is found and put into play. That stadium counters the other stadium, importantly, and then also allows the player to search their deck for a basic Pokemon with no Robux to put onto the bench. There is one more bench slot available for Monkey Dory as they join the party, getting ready to do some flinging when the time is right. And if not, at least it's out of the deck, making top decks that much sweeter. Now the Ultra Ball must be played, discarding 2 cards, Genesect and Buddy Buddy Poff, in order to search the deck for a Pokemon, basic or evolution. And we all know who's going to get grabbed here. The infamous League Battle deck, Star Dragapult EX. It's liberated from the deck now with that Ultra Ball. What do you guys think of Ultra Ball in the format? Let me know in the comments below. As our Dragapult player eyes up their hand, of course, we're going to evolve the Dragapult with energy on the far left there of their playmat. But should something else happen? Nope, let's evolve the Dragapult. And then an Arven is played. Man, all this before a supporter. Power of drawing cards off of abilities for sure, or effects of attack. In the Seeking's case, as Arven is a supporter for turn now for a player, allowing them, oh my gosh, to search their deck for an item and a tool of their own, and they're going to grab their own pink A-Spec card, that Unfair Stamp, as well as the Rescue Board. So we next are probably going to see them attach that Rescue Board to a Pokemon. Doesn't matter too much where to put it. Pheasantipity has the most HP, so maybe it's protected best there. You also might want to save the tool slot somewhere, but either way, Rescue Board gets attached to the Pheasantipity EX, giving it virtually free retreat, reducing its retreat cost by colorless energy for now. And then an Unfair Stamp is played. Since the opponent took a KO on their last turn, that card can be played to have both players shuffle their hands into their decks. And then the Stamp player gets to draw 5 cards from the top, and the opponent only gets to draw 2. Appropriately named Ace-Spec card here. As you all can also tell me what's been your favorite Ace-Spec card in our standard format. Pre-rotation, post-rotation, it doesn't matter. Just let me know what your favorite A-Spec is in the comments below as the players resolve this one here. Remember, player on the left gets 5, player on the right gets 2. Not as bad since they have the Thwacky and Boom Boom Groove online, but still harder to have all the combo pieces in hand with fewer cards. As the Buddy free retreats into the Dragapult EX, and we're about to go diving. Dragapult EX has the Phantom Dive attack for a fire and a psychic. It does 200 damage to the active and then put 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench in any way you like. So 5 go on to a Goldeen that only has 5 HP, knocking it out. And then 1 goes on to a Thwacky in terms of damage counters. It's 2 prize cards are taken that turn, and Dragapult jumps into the lead as the Goldeen jumps into the active spot on the right-hand side, and play will resume there as our festival leader tries to download as much info as they can from their opponent's discard pile to see what they're working with. They first use Artisan, themselves to search their deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench with no Roblox, of course. We have to reestablish another Goldeen, right? It just feels so scary since it only has 50 HP and that Phantom Dive is picking them off um, like targeting fish in a barrel. Is that the phrase that writes itself here? As our player looks through their deck for the basic non-Roblox Pokemon to put down and also thinking about what they want to do and put together with the Boom Boom Grooves as well. So they hesitantly but inevitably go for that Goldeen. It hits the bench now and they shuffle things up. They're probably going back in with this Boom Boom Groove unless they have a way to draw more cards beforehand. Couple Thwacky and not too much else in hand, it seems. We need energy, seeking, and stadium here to do something significant to keep the pressure on as hard as you can, but probably missing one piece, one or two pieces in the hand. Our festival leader is on the right, as they're thinking pretty good about this one here in their next move. Staring down a 320 HP monster across from it with no weakness. Where is Lily's Clefairy when you need it? As they finally fire off a Boom Boom Groove. Search the deck for a card since there is a festival leader in the active spot. No stadium required, which may be what our players are discussing here. So search the deck for a card that they think is best. Depends on what's in hand and what their plan is, what's prized, etc. What would be their next decision here? So let's see what they can put together for the rest of their turn. They're searching their deck for any card. I get the only thing I could think is a 3 card combo in the Seeking, Fire Energy, Festival Grounds to attack a couple times with that Goldeen. I guess if you can only get 2 pieces, you could still get an attack and the Fire Energy and the Seeking, excuse me. This is the pivotal moment in this game. If they can mount a defense and keep up, then that exactly will happen. If not, then the Dragapult player with the Golding on the bench only having 50 HP can jump further and further into the lead and claim victory here in this round 4. It looks like Lana's Aid, the supporter card, that could get some resources back from the discard pile into the hand, but it's definitely a slower approach here. It might be all they've got, and you got to do what you got to do as second Thwacky uses its ability to search the deck for a card with the festival leader in the active spot. Counter catcher to hopefully slow down the Dragapult player, but they got double Cloak down so they can see 4 cards no matter what happens. 4 additional cards, should I say, including the top deck and supporter cards, other ways to draw cards. So our festival leader is just making sure that this is the best route to take for this current situation. It's not looking so good. Everything on the opponent's side of the field has 1 to 0 retreat cost too. So if there was at least something with the double with the 2 retreat costs, it'd be a little bit better. But if you try to stall here, all the Dragapult player needs is a energy attach, manually retreat to undo your counter catchering. Looks like it was counter catcher that was grabbed. This is a more defensive turn then, not what our player wants to do, but like I said, you got to do what you got to do as they fire off this Lana's Aid to get back Goldeen, Seeking, and Fire Energy from the discard pile. Goldeen benched again, that has to happen. Okay, Seeking evolved in the active spot. I didn't see this. And then energy attached to it. Thanks all to this Lana's Aid. That's awesome. And the Festival Grounds gets played now as well. Then the counter catcher. This is still a pretty nice combo here. Counter catcher will bring up a Dracloak. Okay, they're not going for the stall. They're trying to take away some of that draw here with the counter catcher that is live since the opponent has fewer remaining prize cards. You can treat it like a boss's orders, bring up a Pokemon from the bench, and it's the Dracloak. And the Seakin can attack with the festival with its rapid draw twice now, since the festival grounds is in play thanks to that festival lead ability. And it looks like it's just double attack on the Dracloak again, knocking it out. 60 damage times 2. Draw 4 cards, take another prize as they tie things up here in this mid game. Dra Dragapult EX floats into the active spot on the left and play resumes there. You pretty much just have attack for 2 prizes this turn. So just try to put yourself further ahead by countering that festival grounds with the Artisan Stadium at 1 frame per second captured there. Let me know if you got that reference in the comments. As our Dragapult player, it looks like they're just gonna attack now. They can, I guess they could draw more cards with Pheasantipede EX and Dracloak. So they're just trying to put it together here, like our festival leader. They're in the position of now, okay, I'm kind of in the lead here, kind of have the advantage. So how can I not let down on that? How can I tighten my grip on this round here and not lose? They go for the Hawlucha. Okay, the Hawlucha has the flying entry ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench, you can choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and put 1 damage counter on each of them. So now we're going to see this math be calculated here. As 1 damage counter goes on to the Thwackey that was already damaged, and then 1 onto a Goldeen, and try and maximize the damage counter placements of the Phantom Dive. Next is Pheasantipede EX, flip the script, draw 3 cards since the opponent KO'd Dracloak last turn. Get more resources in hand before doing this Recon Active now on the Dracloak. So remember, look at the top 2 cards of the deck. Pick one of them, put it in the hand, and put the other at the bottom of the deck. So our player consults their hand to try to decide just that. It looks like a counter catcher was kept in favor of another card. Okay, we're slowing down on the draw now. Counter catcher is not live since the players are tied on prize cards. And then we evolve Dracloak on the bench to establish a second Dragapult EX and give that Pokemon more HP so it's tougher for the opponent to boss and KO like they've been going for. And then finally disrupt the opponent with Iono. Both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. Both get 4 here, as Luminous Energy was found and attached to Dragapult EX, continuing to keep tempo in this game. And now Phantom Dive, 200 to the active, slow seeking, taking it out, and then putting enough damage counters on the damage Godin to knock that was on the bench to knock it out, and then the rest on the Thwackey, leaving it with 60 HP left, crucially. You guys see what's going on here, so that way, no matter what, if that Thwackey's on the bench, the Phantom Dive can clean up the KO on it on the next turn, as Goldeen swims into the active spot on the right, and play resumes there. You've got to knock out this Dragapult EX. But even if you do, there's a follow-up Dragapult EX waiting on the bench with that damage placement on the Thwackey, leaving it with 60 left. Is it checkmate? It's definitely at least check, as Artisan is being used to check the deck. See what's in there. You can look for a basic Pokemon with no Robux put onto the bench, but our player can also use it to search the deck and see the plan, if there is a plan and what it is. All right. Their players thinking hard about this one. They still don't have a Skeledirge out to increase attack damage, and I'm sure that's part of the combo. Doing some math in my head here, thinking about the black belts. I think that does plus 40, so 280. But then a couple times, right? Yeah, black belts training, Skeledirge, Incendiary Song ability, plus the Seeking, attacking a couple times gets to 320 or so, I think. So the Grookey will be found off of the Artisan here and added to the bench. And then shuffling things up. There are two Boom Boom Grooves to use, but remember you've got to have some of the combo pieces in hand with a larger combo, of course. There is a Skeledirge, so we can get the rare candy and establish that. We need two fire energy for this all to work. One to attach to the active, one to discard with Incendiary Song on that Skeledirge GX. Remember that ability, if you discard fire energy, you do 60 more damage. And there's the Black Belt's training. Body language kind of tells me the player on the right is seeing the writing on the wall. And they might be a piece or two short from the combo of Goldeen, Energy Attachment, Rare Candy, Skeledirge, double energy to attack with and discard with Incendiary Song, and then the Black Belt's training to increase damage by 40. Yep, I think that is what needs to be found here right now. But remember, even if they did get there, two prize cards will be taken with four remaining, and then there's a follow-up Dragapult already with a luminous energy attached to it. There is the double energy too. And they have the rare candy in hand too. I'm gonna have to analyze this one closer later, but yeah, they do. So now they're just missing the Seeking. We have a Boom Boom Groove. Yeah, or either just missing the Seeking or the Black Belt's training, I believe. Either way, for the sake of the video, I'll move forward as our players are discussing things here, showing each other what they had. And I believe our festival leader on the right is offering the concession here with the reveal of the prize cards. Oh man, and there was a Seeking prize. Either way, straight Dragapult takes down this round 4. And let me know what you thought of this video and the commentary in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our players for letting their game be captured so we can all learn and enjoy. Thank you all for playing some Pokemon, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.